Hi guys and welcome back to another video. Now today what I'm going to be bringing you is season 6 episode 19 of City Signings. Now if you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could Jan, it's 70 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Don't forget as well to get your thoughts on this signing down in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on Bradford City agreeing a deal in principle with Ciaran Kelly, centre-half from Bohemians, on a 2.5-year deal? Will come into effective play, or whatever you want to call, from January the 1st, so kind of like a pre-contract signing really. Obviously the Irish league structure works a bit different to the English leagues. I think their season has already finished now. It was confirmed early today that he'd officially departed Bohemians, and then Bradford City tweeted at 8 AM today basically talking about the signing. They tweeted saying, breaking news, we have agreed a deal in principle to sign Irish defender Ciaran Kelly on a contract until the summer of 2025. The article does then read, sought after Kelly to join Bantams. Now we have all seen the amount of time Bradford City have described the player as sought after or highly rated. Austin Samuels, Dylan Motley-Henry, etc. The list goes on. But it also says here, Bradford City AFC has agreed a deal in principle to sign Irish defender Ciaran Kelly on a contract until the summer of 2025. The 6'3" centre-back arrived at the University of Bradford Stadium following the expiry of his contract at Bohemians at the end of the Irish season. Kelly, 24, began his professional career at St Patrick Athletic in 2015, where he returned after a spell with Droghead United before moving to the Bows in 2020. He featured 74 times in total for the Dublin outfit, including 34 of their 36 2022 Irish Premier Division matches, as well as turning out in the UEFA Europa League. Certainly not a bad thing to have on your CV at all. Kelly said, it feels great to be here. This is a massive club and I am determined to play a part in its history. I am a defender who likes to play out from the back, something that we have missed so far this season. Apart from really Critchlow, I do think some of our players have struggled with playing out from the back so far this season, but I am not afraid of putting in a hard challenge when I need to do as well. I've been in Ireland for a number of years now and had success at the clubs I have been at. I've played in finals and big games in Europe, but have come here to stamp my authority on the English leagues and be a part of something special. I always want to challenge myself and see this as a step up in my career. Hopefully I can achieve great things here. I have been to a few games already and witnessed the atmosphere at a big game. The supporters are right behind the club and looking around the stadium fills me with excitement. I cannot wait to kick on, get on the pitch and hopefully do the fans proud now. Hopefully he wasn't at the two previous games, especially against Leyton Orient and also Northampton Town, because they certainly weren't too impressive performances from the boys. But City manager Mark Hughes said, we are pleased to be welcoming Ciaran to the club as the first of our January signings. I do hope I am pronouncing his name right there. He's a player who has attracted a lot of interest from teams at this level and above, but had his heart set on joining us here at Bradford City. We've been monitoring Ciaran for a number of months and have travelled over to Ireland to meet with him and his family, who are all very excited about the move. He's a left-sided centre-half, something again apart from Critchlow we don't really have. Odesina can play on the left side, but he's predominantly right-footed, so I'm going to presume Ciaran Kelly is a left-sided centre-half. 6'3" as well, so very similar sort of play to Matty Platt, because apart from Matty Platt, Songo is a similar sort of centre-back to Matty Platt, but he's a little bit shorter. Odesina, I think he's just not quite ready at this moment in time, and obviously Critchlow has been really impressive for us so far this season, so he comes in, potentially brings in a bit of cover if Critchlow does get recalled, but at the same time could come in and potentially, hopefully even take over Romney Critchlow by the end of the season, because it looks very unlikely we'll be able to get Critchlow in on a permanent basis if we don't get promoted. If we do get promoted, I think Critchlow's out of contract with Huddersfield in the summer. He could choose not to sign on with Huddersfield, maybe come back on a permanent basis, and we could have some very good competition here. But Hughes did say then he's a left-sided centre-half who is fiercely competitive, but also fits in well to the style of play we have adopted. He will start training with his new teammates this week, or this morning, as you do see this video. Well, that is something I would like to apologise about. This video coming out a little bit later than usual. I've been in college all day. I was on the bus to college this morning, basically falling asleep on the bus. And then I saw the news that we had obviously completed our first January signing. It was completely came out of the blue. It does feel weird doing a City signings video right at the start of December, but we look forward to introducing him properly to the action in the new year. Ciaran Kelly will begin training with the Bantams this week and officially joins the club, subject to international clearance when the transfer window opens on January the 1st, he will be sponsored by RMA Systems for the remainder of the season. Now, Bohemians put out a little news thing basically at 2 p.m. this afternoon saying Bohemian FC would like to thank Connor Levingston, Ciaran Kelly and James Finnerton, who have all left the club after spending several seasons at Daly Mount Park. We wish them all the very best for the future. And then a load of other players who have also left the club as well. So he kind of got like a proper farewell message along with the Levingston and Finnerty, and then there's lots of players who just kind of got like a brief thank you that it doesn't really matter all too much. In terms of his actual career, then we'll go into it in a little bit more detail. His youth career from 2003 to 2012 was with Esker at Celtic. In 2012, he then joined Lucan United for 2 years before joining Peamount United for a season as well. He then moved to St Patrick's Athletic in 2015, where he made one appearance there. Then he played 31 appearances for Drogheda United in 2018, where he actually scored 6 goals there. That's quite an impressive return, to be honest with you, from a centre-half. If we could have at least half of them between now and the end of the season, that would be absolutely lovely in a Bradford City shirt. He then joined St Patrick's Athletic in 2019, where he scored 1 goal in 25 appearances, before joining Bohemians in 2020, where he spent 2 years there, scored 1 goal in 61 appearances. He also, in the second half of the 20/21 season, had a little stint with Ballymena United on loan, where he scored 1 goal in 12 appearances. 24 though, plenty of time for him to develop a 2.5-year contract as well. We do seem to be giving out a lot of longer term contracts now, building for the future, which is what I like to see us doing. The problem with us signing a centre-half is it almost guarantees one of our centre-halves will be going out of the door. If we have a look in a little bit more detail then at our current 4 centre-half options, not including Ciaran Kelly. Now, for all we know, Ciaran Kelly in January could maybe go out on loan, but I really highly doubt that will happen. Matty Platt, I think, is probably the only one on this list who is guaranteed 100% to not be moving on this January transfer window, whether it be on loan permanently or his loan spell being cut short. Obviously, he is on a permanent basis. I'm more referring to Romney Critchlow there, but Matty Platt, I think he definitely will stay. I think he's been unbelievable for us so far this season. Since his suspension, though, away at Mansfield Town, he has looked a bit shaken, hasn't really looked himself, so I am really hoping he can refine his form once again. Romney Critchlow, I think, would be a massive loss if he is to be recalled by Huddersfield Town. Now, I've seen a couple of people on social media saying Huddersfield have said they won't recall him, but what they say and what they actually do, it could be 2 completely different things. So if he does get recalled, it will be a massive loss for us, but it's great to see us prepared and actually have a plan if that does happen, because that's not something that we've seen over the last couple of transfer windows. It seems now with Stephen Gent and Mark Hughes that we seem to be prepared going into the transfer window, which is massive news for us. But hopefully Critchlow stays and eventually even signs on a permanent basis, because I'm a big fan of his work. Timmy Odesina is an interesting one. I think out of all of them, he's probably the favourite to probably move on in this January transfer window. Now, he signed a 3-year contract from Hartlepool in the summer, has struggled really to feature in the squads. I think he's done okay in the Papa John's Trophy. In the league matches, though, I do think he has struggled at times. If I think about the game against Stockport County, he really did struggle with the physicality of that. I actually thought he played quite well away at Leyton Orient, but obviously we lost 3-0 in that one. I think if he is to move on, it will almost certainly be on loan. I think it could do him the world of good to go out on loan, potentially even maybe go back to Hartlepool for the season. They're obviously a team really struggling, but I think he does need to go out on loan to another League 2 side for the remainder of the campaign, because he's going to be 4th, 5th choice centre-half, and for a young player, we need him to be playing games, we need him to develop it, to be developing. He's not going to do that by barely even making our bench for the majority of the season. So I think Timmy Odesina, I think if I was Mark Hughes, that is what I'd do. I'd move Timmy Odesina on between now and the end of January to try and get him out on loan for the rest of the season. I think there'll be lots of interest in him. He's got a lot of good attributes at this moment in time, but with how good Romney Critchlow and Matty Platt have been so far this season, and Odesina hasn't really taken his chance, I do think it will make the most sense for Odesina to move on loan in the January transfer window. The final player is Jan Songo, naturally a central midfielder or holding midfielder, but has done a job in centre-half. When Niall Canavan departed the club last January transfer window, he played centre-half for pretty much the rest of the season, whether it was under Derek Adams or it was under Mark Hughes. He was really good for us last season and impressed quite a lot. You know, he won a couple Player of the Year awards as well at the end of last season, along with Paddy O'Connor. Obviously, O'Connor no longer with the club. He joined Lincoln City on a free transfer in the summer. Songo, for me, obviously out of contract in the summer, probably won't get a new deal with the club, which is a big shame because I'm a big fan of Jan Songo. This season, though, you have seen him struggle at times, you know, with this whole playing out from the back thing. Doesn't really suit his game, though. I absolutely love Songo, but I don't think he's quite at that level that we need him to be at this moment in time. He's the wrong side of 30. I think if he is to move on, it'll probably probably be more of a contract mutually terminated rather than we get a transfer fee from him. Potentially he gets reunited with Derek Adams at Morecambe, but I think he's a good person to have around the dressing room, and if you need him to come on for 10-15 minutes to see a game out, we've already seen so far this season that he's very good at doing that job. And for me personally, I think the best option there would be for Odesina to move out on loan until the end of the season. Obviously then we'll have to see what happens with Romany Critch though. That's my thoughts. Like I said, I don't really know all too much about this signing, so I'm going to have to wait and see him play in a Bradford City shirt before I can make a judgment and all that sort of stuff. But if you have enjoyed watching today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 70 likes, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Make sure as well to get your thoughts on this signing down in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on Bradford City signing Ciaran Kelly from Bohemians on a 2.5-year contract? Thank you very much for watching today's video. Have a good rest of your day. Shout out to our Quentin Tier 3 channel member, B Davies 211, and I shall see you all very soon for another video. Peace.